When Nelly's first beat punched through the speakers at the 2025 presidential inauguration, the internet didn't just listen, it erupted. Overnight, a once idolized hip-hop love story got dragged into America's loudest political battleground. Some fans cheered, calling it a victory lap for a saint. Lewis kid who never forgot his roots. Others saw the move as a betrayal so deep it could unravel 20 years of romance in a single afternoon. How did one show threaten to torch everything Nelly and Ashanti built? Music, marriage, even baby Kareem's first lullabies. To find that answer, we have to rewind to a meet cute the world forgot, and the silent stare that changed everything. But rewinding is only the first shock. What comes next will hit harder than any bass drop. It was February 2003, backstage at the Grammys, when a 22-year-old Ashanti ducked behind a velvet curtain to escape the crush of reporters. Nelly, already a chart monster thanks to Hot in Harry, noticed the silver dress, flashed that Missouri grin, and cracked a joke so corny she almost choked on her bottled water. The flirt lasted 30 seconds. The headlines lasted weeks. Yet for all the gossip columns printed, their real story stayed off camera. Late-night studio hangs, secret Waffle House stops on tour routes, shared playlists scribbled on hotel stationery. By 2010, they were hip-hop's prom king and queen, until the silence of 2013. One day, they simply stopped appearing in each other's Instagrams. No breakup statement, no diss track, just a digital void big enough to swallow any hope of closure. Fans called it a cold case. The industry called it predictable. Fast forward to 2023, and the secret everybody missed was about to walk hand in hand down a New York sidewalk. Early autumn 2023, TMZ cameras catch Ashanti and Nelly swapping inside jokes at a Knicks game. Twitter screams, "Reunion." But the couple plays coy. Until December 27th, when courthouse records leak, the two secretly tied the knot in St. Louis County, Missouri. The ceremony? 8 people, 0 photographers, no publicist in sight. An even bigger headline dropped April 2024. Ashanti's 6-month baby bump, showcased on the BET red carpet beneath a sapphire silk gown that broke the algorithm. On July 14, 2024, Kareem Kincaid Haynes, baby KK, entered the world at 6 pounds, 14 ounces. Nelly posted 3 blue heart emojis. Ashanti posted none. Privacy wasn't just policy, it was armor. Their fairy tale looked bulletproof, until one phone call in late 24 threatened to rewrite the ending. December 9th, 2024. A Washington, D.C. number flashes on Nelly's caller ID, an inaugural booking agent dangling the Liberty Ball's headline slot. No campaign rally, they insist. Just the ceremony, pure tradition, and yes, the bag could buy a suburban cul-de-sac. Nelly's first response is a laugh. His second is a calendar check. His third is a why not? He thinks about his uncle's Bronze Star, the flag-draped funerals he attended as a kid, the time his tour bus stopped to salute at a Missouri overpass as a convoy rolled by. Opportunity, he says, only knocks if you're awake enough to answer. Back in New York, Ashanti isn't asleep. She's speechless. And sometimes silence is louder than a scream. The scene plays out in episode 3 of We Belong Together. Nelly breaks the news across their kitchen island, voice high on excitement, palms tapping a rhythm only he can hear. Ashanti's eyes freeze mid-blink. 25 frames, 2 slow inhales, 0 words. That is all. Within hours, TikTok loops the clip under hashtag #BlinkIfYouNeedHelp. On X, a meme shows Ashanti's stare morphing into the Mona Lisa because the eyes follow you around the room. Overnight, opinion splits like vinyl. Is she the supportive spouse or the silent protester? Ashanti says nothing. She knows the more she stays quiet, the louder the internet talks. If looks could vote, the election would have flipped, but the headaches were just beginning. By sunrise, Ashanti deserves better trends in 83 countries. Comment sections turn courtroom. Didn't he see what happened to Chrisette Michele in 17? Why give a free show to a politician who built walls? Streaming numbers wobble. Ashanti's single, Say Less, drops 11% on Spotify in 48 hours. Meanwhile, Nelly's Country Grammar spikes 26%. Apparently, political outrage is great cardio music. Brands take notes. 2 vegan beauty sponsors quietly pause Ashanti's paid posts, while a red state retail chain bumps Nelly's sneaker line to the front window. And then, amid the noise, Nelly doubles down, on camera. 3 days pre-inauguration, he's live on the griot, leaning forward, palms spread. Performing for a president doesn't stamp my ballot. The host counters with exit poll demographics. Nelly counters with his uncle's dog tags. Next stop, Yahoo! Entertainment, where he calls the gig the World Series of Music Venues. He even riffs that if Doug Emhoff can clap along, maybe politics isn't so partisan after all. The press. The press junket reaches CNN before producers yank the plug, because damage control isn't controlling the damage. With 2 days left before the big stage, the only cameras still rolling belong to Peacock. Sweet reality TV fuel. Peacock fast-tracks an 8-episode order, teams of editors line up caffeine IVs, and the couple's prenups, diaper duty, and political landmines become nightly entertainment. Viewers meet Ashanti's momager, equal parts guardian angel and civil rights historian, side-eyeing every rehearsal setlist. They watch Nelly pace hotel corridors, rehearsing talking points that never quite survive first contact with Twitter. Critics say the show feels equal parts romance, cautionary tale, and brand management seminar. Fans say it's the rawest Ashanti has ever been. Frustration filmed in 4K, tears talked through lip quivers, and a rare confession that silence is my safe place. But the payday came with a price no one budgeted for. And that bill shows up in Section 8. The figure lives somewhere between rumor and folklore. $2 million for 15 minutes of hot in Hera, plus expenses, plus points on the broadcast replay. Nelly's lawyer calls that internet math. A campaign aide whispers the real check was nearer $600,000, still enough to remodel the Saint. Lewis' childhood home he keeps as a museum. Ashanti never asks the exact amount. She only asks why the receipt is stamped in public opinion instead of silent deposits. Viewers watch her thumb through tabloids, tallying headlines that can't be returned for store credit. Meanwhile, Nelly's accountant reminds him that every big score has a tax code and a karmic surcharge. Money talks, but family history is about to shout. Ashanti's mother, Tina, folds her arms at the kitchen table and tells a story cameras have never heard. Her own father marched on Selma, losing 2 front teeth to a deputy's nightstick. Those teeth sit in a mason jar on the mantle, right beside Kareem's ultrasound photo. Our house, she says, was built on pain we refused to monetize. Nelly listens, jaw set, but counters with the reality of label contracts and stadium lights. If we don't take the stage, someone else will, and they might not bring the message we can. The debate hangs heavier than the chandelier, a generational tug-of-war between heritage and hustle. While tweets flew, the nursery stayed quiet, and that silence started cracking the walls. 3 a.m. in their Manhattan condo. Kareem's wail slices through the penthouse quiet. Ashanti swings her legs out of bed. Nelly grumbles that his flight leaves at dawn. A nanny stands by, bottle pre-warmed, contractually forbidden to appear on camera, yet starring in every sleepless subplot. Viewers hear Ashanti whisper, "Presence beats presence," as she rocks her son beside the floor-to-ceiling windows. Nelly claims he'll make up for absences with a Disney on Ice private show. She reminds him a baby can't roller skate on IOUs. The next morning, paparazzi catch Ashanti leaving Mommy and Me yoga, solo. Parenting problems soon bleed into PR nightmares none of the sponsors signed up for. When hashtags turn hostile, marketing budgets get shy. A cruelty-free cosmetics line freezes Ashanti's campaign until public sentiment stabilizes. Meanwhile, a southern convenience store chain doubles its Nelly-branded energy drink order. Controversy sells road trip caffeine. Their shared accountant calls it a household seesaw, cash piling on one end while credibility slides off the other. Suddenly, every social post feels like walking a tightrope over a comment section canyon. One misplaced emoji can drop stock 10%. Even love songs can't drown that noise, so Nelly tries one last pivot: philanthropy. 12 hours before showtime, Nelly's team scrambles. Invite the Lincoln University and Howard Drumlines to share the inaugural stage. Headlines shift momentarily from sellout to bridge builder. He records a TikTok about unity through 808s, chalks it up to Midwestern optimism. The bands say yes. Ashanti's face softens for the first time in days. When those snares crack beneath the Capitol Rotunda, the sound feels bigger than politics, if only for 90 seconds. But Twitter's memory is longer than any halftime show, and by sunset, the debate resets to zero. Was it true outreach or brand CPR? The answer might wait in wedding vows no one has written yet. Peacock wants Season 2 to climax with a beachfront vow-renewal. Drones, fireworks, merchandising tie-ins. Insiders leak that counseling sessions are already in the can. 2 couches, 1 box of tissues, 0 guaranteed resolutions. Ashanti demands a no cameras clause for the actual ceremony. Nelly negotiates that drones can hover at 200 feet. Lawyers draft addendums while florists mock up mood boards. Viewers are left dangling. Will love beat algorithms? Or will the highlight reel outlive the marriage? Which brings us to one last chorus. Spotlights are fickle. One day they crown you king of the Billboard decade. The next, they expose every wrinkle in your relationship. Nelly and Ashanti's story isn't just a celebrity fairy tale. It's a cautionary mixtape about cashing checks your legacy has to clear. They chased the biggest stage and found the smallest margin for error, learning that every beat drop echoes in the crib, the boardroom, and the comment queue. So here's the mic drop question only you can answer. If a single performance promised generational wealth, but risked generational respect, would you take the gig or walk away from the spotlight? Let us know below, hit that subscribe bell, and remember, sometimes the hardest note to hit is silence.